Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is Word Origins 59. Today we're going to cover the word origins of Miss, Mrs., Ms., and Mr. Maybe we should take a note and look at the pronunciation, because I know a lot of students of ESL sometimes have difficulty, especially with female titles, and more specifically with this MS. What we should pronounce it like Ms, M-I-Z, almost like it was spelled like that. A lot of students sometimes see the MS and they still say Miss or Mrs. They get confused with that. So this one's easy. This is Miss is pronounced just like what it looks like. You know, that's a regular word too, like something is missing. So it's pronounced the same way, Miss. The MRS is almost pronounced like it's the plural of the word Miss. It's actually pronounced it Mrs. Okay, and then this one is Ms. and Mr. usually there's no problem. Everybody knows that one. Okay, let's get back to the note here. The words Miss and Mrs. Were originally formed as a short form of mistress. So originally they were kind of equal. It didn't really have anything to do with whether you were married or not married, at least going back to like the 1600s. They were just short forms of mistress. All right, Miss, or I guess Mrs. as well, dating back to its use during the 1500s and 1600s had two meanings. A female employer of a domestic staff, which probably ended up being the wife in most cases. The head woman of the house was probably the one who hired, maids and butlers and stuff like this, especially in rich families. All right, so that's how it got that meaning. Now, the other meaning is the meaning that we use today for mistress. So it could have also meant an unmarried woman having an affair with a married man. So that's the meaning that we mostly use today for mistress. That's why it might sound funny today to realize that Miss and Mrs. actually came from mistress. Okay. Over time, Mrs. started to be used for older women and Miss for younger, and then eventually Miss was just thought of as being an unmarried woman and Mrs. was more for the married woman. So over time that kind of formed. Okay, let's continue. Mr. was originally used as an abbreviation for master. Yeah, there's probably a lot of feminists today that might not be happy about this. They might not think this is exactly PC anymore. They may not want to know. They might get angry to find out the origin. But I do remember the old story, like the play and the story Les Miserables. Remember they made it into a play, and I remember they had a song. And in that song there was a line, "Master of the house." Da, 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 da. So master of the house really just meant the man of the house. They did use the term master originally. So Mr. ended up being short for master. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Now the MS, the Ms, even though some people say it originated earlier, it didn't really get to be used a lot until the feminist movement in the 1960s. So Ms came to be used in full force during the feminist movement, because Miss traditionally identified a woman as being unmarried, and Mrs. identified her as married. Okay, feminists combine the two because they thought it was unfair that Mr. concealed both age and marital status. So they thought this was a disadvantage. And so they created a third one. So that's why today we have 3 titles for women, but only 1 title for a man. Okay. Marital status, right. Titles for women did not. By using Ms, it was considered equal to a man's Mr. title. The factor of marriage is removed, because if a woman uses Ms, you can't be 100% sure whether she's married or unmarried. Okay. Even though initially, when they first started doing this in the 60s, it was said to be used mostly by single feminists at that time. Today, that's not as true as much. Today, many married business women may use it to take marital status out of the equation. So just in case they felt uncomfortable with that, I don't know if it would make a difference or not, but whether somebody might think, does that make any difference with promotions? Probably not. Probably the company knows you're married or not married. Or maybe it may make her feel awkward in other business situations that, whoever she's meeting may know that, well, oh, she's not married yet. She's only a miss instead of a Mrs. Or maybe that she is married. I don't know. But either way, it takes it out of the equation, and you don't know. Just like Mr., you don't know if he's married or not married. This way, it was considered to be equal. Okay, anyway, this is how it all came about. And that's why today women have, again, 3 titles and men have just 1 title. Anyway, I hope it was informative. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.